Hey, I'm Season. I'm a Flex CPS.
God damn it! That was insane. You actually started right as I clicked the start recording button. God damn it!
He's just built different.
He's gonna give an intro and then you start.
How's it going?
Okay.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? League Zero. My name is Viting, and I am here hosting the postseason press conference for Team The Bench in League Zero Season 3 Intermediate. We've already heard from Seized, but let's talk a little bit about, let's go through the list and just go through who these people are and the roles that they played on the team. Seized, you can go again if you want, I guess.
I'm good.
Alright.
Hello, I'm Fifles. I played Flex DPS.
I'm Zed, and I'm a main tank.
Hi, I'm Panera Panini. I was captain at main sport.
Slamfire / archivist, manager, coach, social media, graphic design, all that good stuff.
I'm Adable. I'm manager of the bench.
I'm Aurora, and I'm the main support.
I'm curator. I was an off tank and the unofficial team mom.
I'm Nebula. I was a Flex DPS.
I'm Silvertalls, and I'm Flex support.
I'm Pivot, and I was main tank.
Yes, that was so smooth, guys. Thank you.
We did so great as soon as you stopped fucking up. Okay, wait, I should have asked before. Can I swear?
I don't care. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a little too late now.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do it anyway.
Alright, that's fine.
Look at the
fine.
team coordination.
Yeah, team coordination, the team synergy, I can see it. So, thank you all for taking a little bit of time out of your evenings tonight. I have 8 questions here for you guys to answer in today's press conference. Hopefully, they all sort of make sense. This first one is going to be actually a player submitted question. This is from Phone. Who asked, and this is probably mostly to people like Adable and Panera, who says, in the draft, I'm going to say it as Phone said it. In the draft, you guys had the opportunity to pick up some very good talent, but instead, the players you picked were more unknown, and their draft stock in the eyes of others weren't as high. What was your thought process during the draft and preseason process, and what do you guys think of it looking back? So basically,
Yeah.
he's like, why did you pick a bunch of Humegaholes?
Dude, that was the nicest way anyone
That is
could have
a
asked
very nice
that.
way of wording that question. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it
you
warrants
summed it
does
up
warrant
pretty well.
explanation. Like, our thought process going into this as new managers was we wanted, to pick mostly for mentals and coachability, that I would rather have someone who is pretty good at the game and very coachable and hungry to learn than someone who thinks they're God's gift to tier 7 and just doesn't want to get coaching anywhere. So we prioritized that first. I think where it might have gone, what he is alluding to is somewhat wrong, is that we didn't understand as new scouters that there's a barrier to entry, that if you have players that are new to organized play and this is their first time, there's going to be a week or 2 or 3 that you're teaching them the fundamentals of team play and trusting their team and what their role is. And we had fast learners and everyone was individually super skilled, but we had to build that synergy, and I think it put us a week behind or 2 weeks behind just the whole time because everyone's improving.
Awesome. Any other comments on that question?
No, we just we're all very new and inexperienced. Well, the 3 managers are inexperienced to drafting teams and all that, but. I'd say our goal of trying to draft a coachable and untiltable team kind of succeeded, as you've alluded to a couple times, dividing in your postseason kind of stuff and whatever. I think Kiri is a really good example. Kiri, when Kiri came in, she was pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie, okay? But listen.
No, I completely agree. I had just recently recently from gold to diamond by one-tricking Zarya, so I was a little still kind of gold.
That's exactly what I did.
But she really impressed me because she was the first person to reach out to Sebs or Jewel or any of our coaches to get some coaching to get better at the game, and I think that's very cool. I wish more people were like that. It's pretty cool.
That the people we got are very individually talented. But it's like it's that synergy again that took us a while to build.
Yeah, that too.
Awesome. All right. Next question. Talking about what your plan was during the draft, but were there any mid-season pickups of players or coaches that really helped you guys out and really shaped your season?
Well, so our two mid-season pickups, were Feifels and Aurora, and I think that like both of them added different heroes to the pool that we didn't have like originally. Like Feifel's Pharaoh is really quite cool, and also like okay, Aurora and Feifels talk a lot about strategy in like comps in our notes channel. Like it was Aurora, Feifels, and Ceased that were always talking about new strategies for us to try, and having those types of people on the team were really cool. It was really cool and helpful.
Yeah.
There was also a bit of a running joke about me being a maps 3 and 4 specialist.
Yeah, we never made it to map 4 besides once.
Yeah. It'd make one map 4.
Got one map 4.
Shout out to MI6. Thanks for our first map 4.
Aurora wasn't even there yet.
But,
the difference I noticed, like, especially when we got like the trio, like Ada said, of like Ceased, Feifels, and Aurora together, like there was a desire to learn and to get better at the game the entire time. But like when Feifels came on specifically, and Aurora to some degree, like there was a lot more hunger to like win. Like there's that drive of like, no, we need to beat these guys. They're bad. We can be better than this. And it gave us a nice push that I think we needed mid-season.
Can I also give a quick shout out to Muffin? Unofficial coach pickup, but he did so much for us as a team. He was like one of the more consistent coaches to show up. He was always willing to help people, and it just could like explain concepts we were struggling with in ways that made them so much easier to understand. So if you're talking about an impactful coach pickup, Muffin was definitely
100%.
the one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also
Muffin
good with the
was cool.
mentals. Like Muffin was like so big on the mentals too of the team. I think always just a positive guy that was always in the voice chat cheering us on.
He was
I
even
love
playing.
Muffin.
He was playing ranked with us on all. It's like we were just having super fun with him.
He needs to fix his name though.
He does.
What is that? What is that at the start of his
It's
name?
too
It's not
long.
okay.
It's
He would show up
Muffin
to games,
so
too.
long.
Like he would be in VC
Yeah.
when we finished a round.
Oh, yeah,
like,
he would
finished a
come,
map and like
like, to
cheer
our
us on
games.
and like cheer us up.
I love
So
Muffin.
nice.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, next question. Obviously, you mentioned it before. I have done. I've talked a couple of times about how impressed I was by the team environment in here, especially with how, you know, when you look at the paper and the stats, you would expect a team to be way more actually down in the dumps than you guys seem to be. You mentioned before how you seem to prioritize players with good mental. But why do you think you were able to keep that mentality and that team environment so good throughout the whole season?
Because
I
Ada did a
think,
really good job drafting cool people.
Early on, Ark and I like talked a lot about how the point of League Zero in general is to just improve and get better. Like this is a flat team,
Yeah.
so even if our record isn't good, if everyone gets better at the game, then we still like come out with serving the purpose of joining. And I think we just kept that in mind going through the games. Like even losses, you can learn a lot from. So.
I think I don't know what we started at, but by the time the season ended, we were scrimming like 3.4 to 3.6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We also just did a lot as a team outside of like actual just practice. Like there was a Minecraft realm. We play a bunch.
So, like
in
Jackbox,
ranked. Yeah, Jackbox.
Among Us.
They've
Like,
been
we just did a lot of
playing
fun
Wizard
stuff together.
101 recently.
Oh, we did play Wizard 101 together.
There was a lot of Wizard 101.
like
Some
I-
car soccer.
I legit think
Yeah.
the main reason that our team was able to keep like a really positive mentality and good environment is because like we're all friends. We became friends over the course of the season, and even though our season is over and we're all like moving on to our own new teams in like Flux Cup or going to school and stuff, the bench Discord is still as active as it's always been, just because we enjoy talking to each other, we enjoy playing with each other. It's just we went from just being a drafted team of strangers to a close group of friends.
Yeah, I want to add though, like obviously it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like we did lose a lot, and there were negative emotions and there were doubts about our own performance and how we were doing as managers. And like it's not like those things weren't there, but we made sure that when those things did come up, that we listened to each other and we heard people out of like why they were frustrated and what things were going wrong, and then we just tried to respect that and work with it and try to make it better. Like
I think
it's not like
we're
the bad
all
things didn't
adults
happen.
too.
Yeah,
Most of us are
yeah,
adults.
probably the
Boomer
oldest
team?
team. Boomer
Boomer
team.
team?
Yeah.
Boomer team.
Yeah.
Boomer team, I guess.
Oh, I just realized we're missing C team. That's no fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that is no.
We just realized.
Wow, we just
It's like, oh yeah, no, C team, barely know the guy. First pickup, hardly know him.
Hope he never sees this video. Sheesh.
No, he's always either a hawk
gonna
with
ping
his
him with the
girlfriend.
timestamp.
There's nothing we can do.
I'm gonna
I-
ping him with the
I think,
timestamp.
for real, in real life, it's
He's
very.
Look,
always
he
committing
knew.
hard crimes.
Actually, I think he's committing Minecraft crimes right now.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
sorry.
There's no such thing.
Moving
as
on
Minecraft
though, at the
crimes.
same time, you know, with the like you've mentioned, with the good on this team, there had to be the bad, and the bad that came with the bench was a lack of success in game, like inside the League Zero games. And I feel like I couldn't do this press conference without asking you what you guys think went wrong when it came time to the actual games.
So Ark talked a little bit about it before, but the majority of our team, I think only 4 players that we picked up actually had experience doing organized play together. So like initially when most teams could get to work and start trying to build strategies immediately, we had to go over basics and like just team play like in general. And that put us behind other teams. So even though we were improving, we were starting behind a little bit, and we weren't able to catch up like to other teams in terms of improvement. I also think a lot of times like in game, like we would have like people would be like nervous compared to scrims. Like it seemed to vary. Like people would be more quiet or more like scared to try things in game versus in scrims, which goes back to like just having new players that aren't used to playing like in a league before.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's what contributed most to.
I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think some of it, or to me at least, it kind of like felt like it that like with the community kind of like shitting on us after the draft, and like saying, "Oh my God, who is this team? This team's like bottom tier, you know, whatever." I think that it might have gotten to some of our heads, and we kind of the pressure of the game and like game day and all these like really experienced and really good veterans on other teams. It kind of like got to us and made us play worse than we did in scrims, and even in warm-ups too. I think a lot of our warm-ups were really good. But I think when we got into the lobby, it just everything kind of changed for some reason.
Yeah, and it also didn't help that very early on in the season, we realized that we weren't going to consistently have coaches show up to scrims. And so I got kind of stuck into the head coaching role for a lot of things, and I'm not a coach. I have not been trained as a coach. I do not have experience as a coach. So like I was learning that whole system the same way our new players were, like learning how to be a coach. And I wasn't the greatest, and it's never ideal to only have a person a few hundred SR higher than their players. So that probably could have helped to have more consistent coaching. But like we had great coaching individually for like one-on-ones and bot reviews and stuff. So
we had a lot of player feedback as like kind of coaching as well. I know after a lot of maps and scrims after I joined, Panera and I would give feedback to each other on like what we could do better.
And since day one, like anytime I would be on the bench, I would be spectating C Team, watching him, taking notes, and then at the end of scrims, I would just send him like massive paragraphs of like reviewing his play, going over things he could do better to like work on. Like there were a couple of times that me and C Team sat down and did a VOD review just because like I am more comfortable on Diva than he is. So I was like going over his Diva play, helping him like learn how to play Diva in that comp. So there was a lot of player feedback, but that doesn't really make up for like actual coaching.
Especially when we're all about the same level of play.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Sometimes you need that top-down perspective just to say, no, you're actually wrong, and explain why, instead of like, this is a good thing you do.
yeah.
I also think, in terms of lack of success, the meta certainly didn't help us very much. I think a lot of our individual hero strengths kind of didn't fit within the meta until maybe the very end.
All
Like,
we
I think
needed was a ball Rhine Pharah meta. That's all.
if the current meta composition was meta for most of the season, I think our team would have had a lot more success, just in terms of like what heroes we're comfortable on and how we work in comps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once it got to double sniper or like hog ball or like hog or ball sigma, like we would have done a lot better there because Zed's kind of a nut on ball and hog.
Hamster.
True.
All right. Thank you guys for being so honest about that. Next question, though, is going to be, who was the biggest in-game leader for your team?
Kiri, that one's easy.
Yeah, Kiri.
No, it was Slimal.
Okay.
I mean,
When Slime
Slime
was here.
definitely did do a lot, like towards the beginning of the season when we were all still figuring stuff out.
And then he got promoted.
I don't even know. Slimal wasn't on the team when I was there.
Yeah, I'd say Kiri because I think she did the best job. She did like probably the strongest mentals I've ever seen out of a player. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if anything could tilt her. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is anything.
She would always say something that would just kind of lift us all up and kind of make us feel a little bit better, and like kind of try to push us through it. And so
Yeah.
I
After every map loss, Kiri would always say something, and then Panera would also try as well. Panera would also do it.
Panera and I did the ult tracking as like main supports, but Kiri was like the fight leader and the target caller. She was definitely the most like vocal.
And we were all the feeders.
What can I say? I don't shut up in game.
Basically.
There was a whole bit about how like by the end it was kind of just what Kiri would tell Pivot to go and then Pivot would go.
Yeah, like
That's how I've always been.
teaching my main tank's aggression by just being like, okay, we're going now. You don't get a say in this. You just have to fucking go.
But that just helps like have everyone moving at the same time too. And everyone knowing when everyone's
especially at the start, we really struggled with like initiating fights and taking aggression. We would play really slow and passive and just usually get caught out a lot. So I just decided, well, if that's what we're struggling with, I'll just be a go button. I'll say we start fight now. We EMP like before they come in, just so that we can make sure we EMP first and have at least a chance to follow up on that.
People feeding at the same time is just a push.
That
True.
and it just like we ended up being a very emotional team. So after losses, it would definitely like get to people, and people were definitely like real sad about it. But like, I mean, I don't like seeing my team sad, so I would try and do my best to cheer everyone up and be a little positive beacon of light even during the rough games.
We counted
That's why you're
our
a team mom.
we counted our in-game failures with memes. We have a whole
Fair
quote
enough.
from
You guys did make some good memes. I will
And
give
our
you
only
that.
success, we made a meme too. Our
To our
strong
game's
map.
outcome, all our players become benched.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What was your favorite moment of the season?
Our first map win. That's
Yes.
probably
That has to be mine
Our
too.
first map win. Like, everyone was so happy after that. Like it felt like we
You
won
should
that
have heard our
game.
comms.
Everyone...
Like we were all yelling and screaming because that was our first map win after like 3
Yeah, it
maps.
was-
You
It's
would
like-
think we had won the championship because we were all so hyped. Like my
After that
roommate,
control center, that was just the highest point
my
of like the
roommate told me
season.
she heard me yelling like through 2 closed doors and her headphones, just because I was so hyped that we finally like pulled it out and were able to break that 0-3 curse.
Where's the meme? Do we have the meme on hand?
I can post it. Hold on.
Pivot has it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give me a
Oh
second.
wait, C team's in lobby 1B if you want to drag him.
Oh, hey, look, there he is.
I wasn't
Team
there. I wasn't there for that first map win, so my favorite would have had to be, it was in a scrim, and we were getting absolutely rolled on King's Row, and it was and we're playing against a player whose name is Steam, but we have C team, and so Zed, like, as we're like going into the final fight of the round, Zed just yells out, "Oh, his name is Steam."
That was C team's.
I'm the dumbass.
Because we kept calling him S team the whole time, and C team showed up late to scrims, and
So we're like, hey, look, they have S team.
We just all kind of collectively lost it. It was great.
In the middle of a fight, you just hear C team. Oh, his name is Steam, and we fucking
This is after like an hour
lost
and a
it.
half too.
Guy killed me, so I was looking at the kill cam, and I read, and then I actually read it, and I was like, oh wait, that's just Steam, and I said it out loud. So, yeah.
Definitely, that was definitely a good moment.
Iconic moment.
I'll never forget.
That was
Now I have a
pretty
Smurf.
funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Called Steam.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
then
see.
Lijiang.
We have the audio clip. It might come up at some point.
Do you have a comms check?
Yeah, we have a comms
Oh
check.
yeah, comms check is on its way.
The band
It's in production.
Make sure to let us know when that comes out. I'm sure Acri would love to see something like that.
I will post in the Discord and on Twitter.
All right.
Okay, we put the meme in our team general.
Oh yeah.
If
The
you wanna
people
look
need to see the meme for the context here.
Yeah, I don't
Of
know
us
where.
getting our first map win.
Where is it?
In our team
in
general.
general.
Whoa! Everyone talked at once. I didn't hear.
Our server, our team general on our server.
Okay, I'm just gonna click on that real quick.
This is definitely the
the
only high point we had of our entire season, besides I guess the
Oh, yeah,
content,
the
but
high
I really don't think you can count that.
Content doesn't count.
Yeah, you really
We,
can't count that.
we wanted
but-
a game. We would have had a game, and then
Yeah.
Penguin threw.
Yeah, Penguin gets 7th man for me. He was my nomination.
Yeah.
For us. Seventh
For
man
us,
for
yeah.
us. Let me
Penguin
clarify.
and Fish shot both
True.
through last week, second last week.
They're the real MVPs.
Alrighty. Next question. Do you have any advice for future seasons of League Zero teams that are kind of at the bottom of the standings like you guys were and are trying to figure out what to do next?
Depends
Have
what
fun.
they want to do. If you want to win, I mean it's kind of not very easy to like say how you need to like what you need to do to win.
You just have to keep a good attitude.
Yeah,
Because
but
if
if
your
your goal,
keep losing and have a bad attitude, it's not going to be fun. And if you have a bad attitude, you're not going to, you're 100% not going to start winning. So you might as well have a good attitude and enjoy what you're doing, even if you're losing, and it's your best shot of winning. So, yeah.
And focus on improvement. If you're struggling to win games, then really the only thing you can do to turn that around is grind, improve, focus on what you can do better for your team to help. Don't just make sure you don't fall into that trap of like, oh, I feel like I'm doing well, but my team isn't. Just no matter what you're doing, hell, we're in Inter. The highest people in this entire division are like low diamond. You have things you can improve. The point of playing should be to have fun and improve, so focus on that more than like your score.
Yeah, if you're like one of the bottom teams at this level, 95% chance it's just that your teamwork isn't very good. Like
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
we had a very good environment, but there was definitely a disconnect that like just was there for most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think listening is like really important. If you're on a bottom team, the chances are things are being called that are probably correct. At least someone is making the right call in most cases, and they're not being either they're being listened to and not actually done, or they're just not being listened to. Like a lot of people have good ideas of how to play that completely go out the window once the pressure turns up on game day or once they're overwhelmed. Just getting back to basics and simplifying your thinking and listening to your teammates and actually doing what they're saying and reacting to it, I think is like the best way to improve in that level.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and last question: is this is a very much an open-ended one, but I wanted to know if there was any last things you guys wanted to say as the season kind of comes to a close. This is like the last public event for like just the bench, so I wanted to hear what you guys have to say.
Nevertheless, you better say something. You haven't said anything the entire time.
I'm pretty sure I had a 50%.
No, Steve's got the first word in.
Yeah, that's a spokesman.
I guess
Sorry,
I would
are
agree
you
that
AFK?
like
I'm playing.
no matter
Minecraft.
what, like I don't know, it looked like on the outside that our team was a mess or whatever. I feel like we were definitely like a very underestimated team. I mean, we raked in the big scrim bucks. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
We had the
and, like,
Zephyr bucks.
Right, and like I'll say without a doubt, we were the most positive team. I feel confident in saying that. Like we talk to each other every day. We still play Overwatch together every day as a whole team. So, like, and I guess just anyone can say what they want about our team, but and like we might have looked like the worst, but I don't know. I think we were the best.
Hell yeah.
I think we should be able
That's
to.
not true. I asked to play
Oh.
comp and no one responded.
Oh, wow.
I said that I would, but I'm rusty, so.
I'm pretty sure I had a 50% map win rate in matches.
I
Also,
thought
a lot
you
of
were-
us are
I got two
competing at
maps.
Fox Cup, so check us out.
Yeah.
True.
I got
He's with the plug.
Yeah, keep an eye
Make sure
on.
to root
keep an
for
eye on-
Chicago Butchers
on-
and not you effect.
Yeah, Butcher.
Chicago Benchers and you effect.
And,
Well, last
don't,
Also, yeah, carries
Don't-
on the
Yeah, sure, that one too.
I guess
No, what can I-
one note I'd like to leave on, like at least for myself, is like I was listening to the L0 production kind of press conference that you guys were having. I don't know when that came out last week, but
Oh, you mean like the staff press conference?
yeah, the staff press conference. And one
Yeah.
thing I kind of wanted to reiterate from that is like if there are other managers in the future, you know, listening to this and you're thinking like, oh man, we shouldn't recruit, you know, inexperienced players. Like I started L0 in season 2. I had no clue what I was doing, and I had a lot of, you know, initial uptime to like learn the game, and I wasn't as good as people with experience. But like people still gave me a chance and befriended me, and I ended up getting a lot better, and it was a great experience. So like if you have the opportunity to give players that experience, I think it's way more important than a winning record. Like I'd rather have a bunch of teams drafting new players than just getting the same squad, you know, every year.
I agree with
As-
that.
So
As someone who like this is my first time ever doing any kind of organized team play, and like I want to reiterate and like I guess give a shout out to the managers because like going to Pugs very well could have been the first and the last time that I would have done anything like this had I not gotten picked up. But now that there was a team out there who was willing to give new players who wanted to learn and get better and try this stuff out, now that people like me got a chance on this team to just put our feet in the water, like see what it's like, just I don't know, take our first steps into this next part of our Overwatch careers. I think like it is so helpful. I would have never thought that I would be the kind of person to do this, and I wanted to try it out. I was given a chance, and now this was like doing League 0 was probably the best choice of my Overwatch career, and I have no one to thank but the managers who decided to give people like me a chance.
fucking huge retweet on that.
yeah. So I guess to sum that up, it'd be like managers in the future, don't be afraid of like being the bench. Like as long as you make great friends along the way and you improve, like don't worry about your record. Just build a good team, teach people some Overwatch, have some fun.
Also, don't discount players on bad teams either.
Yeah.
Everyone says we're bad. All
Little
the players.
bias
True.
that one, huh?
We
Maybe.
have Steve, Silvertalls, Kiri. I mean, there
Just
are
listen
not
to
bad players, good players.
No
in
one
this game.
else. That's
Wow.
the only.
I'm mostly looking at the people that made tier lists.
What the
Yeah.
first time? We love Slime. Everybody else.
Dude, dividing. I got a great laugh out of bench.
I'm just not gonna comment.
Also spell my goddamn name right, please.
Dude, I was on like 2 tier lists.
Okay,
And
creator.
they did Zeb instead of Zed on one.
I think
I
I
just
only
thought I
made
was
it
good
onto
because I was the
one
second overall
tier
pick.
list that wasn't final.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one really gives us recognition.
Alrighty, so thank you all so much for taking this about 30 minutes out of your evening to come here and do this press conference. I think you said a lot of really, really great stuff, and I hope that other League Zero members watch it and they take it to heart moving into the future. So to everyone watching, thank you all so much, and we'll see you guys in the next video.